You'll have revenge. The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural. Now you will experience the full power of the dark side.
Welcome, followers of the Dark Side of Life. I'm your host, John, the real JP3, and I'm joined as always by my good friend and fellow co-host, who is a master of the dark side, expert on the occult, and obtainer of rare antiquities and holocrons. Please welcome Dark Lord of the Sith, David!
Get that lightsaber out of my face. What are you doing, John?
I got a blue one too.
Yeah, you do. How's it going, bud? Doing all right?
I'm doing good, damn good. Another day, another paradise, Taco Tuesday, even though you said it wasn't Tuesday.
I know what day I wear my Taco Tuesday shirt. And it's always Tuesday. Or sometimes Friday when I want tacos. But regardless, it is episode 129 of Balance of the Force podcast. And John, your life's a little chaotic because you got some personal things going on. You're moving, your casa integrating and all that jazz, which I did about 3 months ago, which is a pain in the butt.
You should have just made your first payment, shouldn't you have? It was 3 months ago.
It's 2 months, not 3. They defer for 2.
Well, I don't pay it till like the 14th, so it's technically 2.5 months.
Yeah, you're supposed to pay it on the 1st. They give you till the 15th before the enforcers go out and start popping kneecaps and whatnot. But regardless, that's not what we're talking about today. Talking about Star Wars. That's why you're here. That's why we're
Wars.
Here. Ladies, gents, Chris, Chis, Rhodians. Yeah, thanks for coming back. This is a little podcast, Star Wars show. If you're first time listening, hello. That's John. He's a Jedi. My name's Dave.
I am.
I'm Sith. Hence the balance of the Force. But John, let's get into it. 2020. It's here. Can't fight it. You gotta write fully 2020 on a piece of paper nowadays. You can't just do the 20 on the end due to legalities, which you had to deal with earlier today.
50 pieces of paper.
Which technically, if you thought about it, you could do like the 19 and just add like 99 on the end of it. So it'd be like 1999.
So that's exactly what they were saying today. She's like, why did we never think of this before? Like, you could have done 1999, 1998.
And anything else before, yeah.
Nobody ever thought of it.
You had 99 years before, yeah.
Yeah. It was crazy. And, you know, if you think about it, technically you can never, like, write it again. Like, if you write, like, it's 2022 or whatever, if you write 20... Like, you could put any future date or anything like that. It's like, I don't know. The fraudsters are just out to get us.
Yeah, they are. But
anyway,
you know who's not out to get us? Star Wars. Because we got a lot of it coming in 2020. We had a lot of it in 2019. I dug it. I loved it. Ready for 2020. We still got to get our Star Wars celebration tickets, you know. Sorry, it's a reference because
if you mean being sent in the mail, yes, we still have to wait on those.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, do we need to update the address?
Ooh, where do we get them sent?
I want to say you sent them to my mom's casa because they're not going nowhere. I
don't know.
I couldn't remember.
I gotta double check.
You got to log in and check, but I'm almost positive you told me you were sending them to my mom's house just because. It may have been your postal box. Who knows? But we do need to check that.
We got to figure it out. Yeah, that's good. It's a good call. Good call. We don't want them randomly to go to somebody's house that we no longer live in. Anyway, 2020, big year. You know, we're still riding off the coattails of Rise of Skywalker, which is a lovely movie, which I plan to see it again maybe Thursday. We'll see. I don't know if time permits. I need a nap, though. Nothing like a good, day nap out in the sun, man. It's nice and toasty.
Out in the sun?
Yeah. Take a nap outside, hammock style, man. Anyway, what's the first thing that we're getting into, Johnny? Talk to me, because you got the agenda. And I'm just here living my life with my taco shirt.
there's a lot of, we talk about the fact that every year there's a lot of Star Wars coming. There's so much information coming.
Mm-hmm.
2020 is like the year after the storm, so to speak, because you got the Rise of Skywalker that launched in 2019. It's still carrying over, obviously, into 2020, but we get no movie this year. Um, we're not getting like no movie whatsoever, not an anthology, not a prequel, sequel, follow up, anything like that. The next movie, based on the schedule that we have, isn't due out until 2022. So we got some time. But we're getting a lot of like other things. Disney Plus launched in November of 2019. And you got Clone Wars Season 7 that's heading over to Disney Plus February 17th, actually, which is just a few days before your birthday, Dave.
Yeah, a few days before mine and a week or two after yours, so not
Yep.
bad at all. What's your excitement level for Clone Wars Return?
So it's exciting. I can't wait. I keep debating if I want to rewatch season 5 or rewatch season 6. Like, I remember pretty heavily the events that happened in the Clone Wars all through the series. Not everything bird detail, but I remember quite a bit. So for me, it's something that I want to learn a little bit more about, but I just don't know if I want to watch season 6 or watch season 5. I'm debating. I know
You got a month and some change, man. You can watch both.
I could watch both, but I know I don't want to watch the entire series again. I know a lot of other people are doing that. What about you? You gonna watch the whole series again?
No, not the whole series. I think I'll. Oh, excuse me. I'll go back and I'll watch key episodes involving the Mandalorians, involving the Dark Saber, just as a refresh due to the Mandalorian, and I'll probably wrap up season 5 and 6 just to get
Yeah,
fresh and get in the mood.
20, like it's like 21 to 23 episodes per season is quite a bit. They're only 30 minutes long, so you could binge watch quite a bit of them before you get to that point. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still debating. Got some time, obviously. February's somewhat around the corner. But yeah, I got some time to figure out what I want to do. But that's what's coming February 17th. That's the first new thing that we're getting from Star Wars in 2020, which for
That
me,
we know of.
that we know of. Pretty excited about. There's been a lot of other rumors about some announcements from Lucasfilms or Kathleen Kennedy about the next phase of Star Wars. There's been some rumors that Project Luminous is what they've been working on, and that's going to be the next big, like similar to Skywalker saga that we're going to get a lot of information from, a lot of movies, details, comics, obviously shows. I don't know. We haven't heard much about it. We know there's several writers that are signed on with it. But the first we heard about this was that Star Wars Celebration in Chicago, correct?
Correct. At
Uh,
the book panel, I guess you could say. Did you hear the latest rumors about what Project Luminous is about?
I want to say
Or what direction?
yes.
I sent you an
It,
article.
it's before. Yeah, we posted it. It's like set like 400 years before
400.
the Skywalker
Theoretically, this
series.
is the rumor, yeah.
Yeah,
400 years before, in the age of the High Republic.
yeah.
The High Republic. I don't know what's going on in the High Republic.
Not the Low Republic.
Exactly.
High Republic.
Which still gives time for us to see Yoda. Because we know
Yeah.
that cat lives for 900 years, so Yoda should be a young man at this time. Or young Yodian, or whatever his species is. So he should be a young cat, maybe coming up the ranks, maybe not on the High Council yet, but a master nonetheless, teaching younglings, so we'll see if he ends up popping up in Luminous. But I think the big key to that rumor, they were saying that they sent Jedi to go explore the unknown regions.
Yep.
Which is very similar to what Timothy Zahn wrote back in the day in the old Legends continuity, a little book called Outbound Flight, which is essentially the same thing, where they send Jedi out into the unknown regions. So if this is in fact true, then they're dipping into the Legends continuity and using some of that. We don't know if
Yeah,
we're
which
going to see any characters we know, but either way, it's a cool concept.
Yeah, and so I'm sure there's a lot of people that would be pretty happy about that, especially when Disney came on board and made Legends Legends and Canon Canon. You know, you stayed on board, you got all your Legends books behind you and everything else, and
Legends over
so
there, over there. Canon
um,
over here.
but I think they're going to have a lot of excited people if they do go back into those storylines because in reality there is a lot to pull from out of that continuity. So
Oh no, heck yeah! Literally, there's hundreds of books that span over about 30 something odd years of just awesome stories, and we'll see what they pull out of it. We see what new directions they go. We see what tidbits they want to include in future installments. But either way, if that's the route of Luminous, it sounds pretty intriguing. I think one of the things that they said it would include Sith and then like godlike evil beings or some jazz like that. Is that correct? From
yeah,
what I
that is
remember.
correct. That is correcto. Correctamundo.
So obviously, any more Sith, I'm down for. In the visual dictionary, they make Revan canon. Will we see Revan? Will we get a mention of Revan? There's Darth and Dedu. There's a few other Sith that they have now made canon that originated in Legends. Will this include some of them? I don't know, but I'm jazzed to see what exactly we get out of it, and if that will end up segueing to either a live action featurette, TV show, or even a comic book or cartoon. Because I like to see the Sith dark side and all
Yeah,
that.
clearly, clearly.
Just saying, Joe.
Um,
So with that news, would you be jazzed for something like that? A whole new
yes, a
400
whole
years
new
away? Yeah.
like yeah. So the whole thing for me is like you and I only know. Well, most people only know. Like for me, somebody who doesn't read the books like heavily or in depth like you do, the Skywalker saga is what I know. Like Plagueis, I read Darth Bane, I read the first book, and so those are books I don't know. But people who have actually read Legends, I'm sure super excited about the opportunity of what they could use out of the Legends line to be able to make a show, TV, more books, more comics, everything else. But for me, it'd be something exciting and new. It'd be different. I'm not saying that I don't like the Skywalker saga because I do. But for me, I think that'd be really awesome. It's just in all that how they portray it. From a part of me also feels though that if they go that route because of how many stories and how many books they have in the Legends arena, I think people are going to be even more critical of the fact that hey, you have a lot of content to pull from. You need to make sure that you are doing exactly like what it says. And I wholeheartedly believe I don't think that's what Disney's going to do. I think Disney's going to be
Oh.
like, yeah, we have those books, but you know what? We're gonna steer it a little bit different here. We're gonna change it up a little bit.
And they should. They,
Um,
they need to make it their own. No one wants a carbon copy of what we had before. Let's do it better. Let's do it bigger. Let's get more in depth and a little wilder and crazier. But that's
yeah.
just me.
So I think you're gonna have some upset fans like you do in obviously the new trilogy, but I think there's gonna be more critical of the information. So we'll see what happens. All right. So have you finished the entire visual dictionary? Have you gotten through all of it?
No, every time I sit down and start flipping pages, I get distracted and get pulled away, and it ends up just sitting on the back burner. But I do have an extra day off this week, which hopefully I can sink my teeth into.
Okay. So the follow up to that, March 3rd, we get the Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker expanded edition to be the published work.
The novelization,
Um,
yep.
yeah, I know it's on your list to pick up.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be excited for it. By the way, that's also Sweet Nelson's birthday.
Yeah, it is.
Um, so, and you mentioned on our last episode about the fact that we talked about Rise of Skywalker. Could it have been split into two parts? Could it not have been? Kind of things like that. And you said, I bet the book and the author of the book, I think, has said that, like, hey, there's going to be way more in depth information that you get out of the novelization than you get out of the movie. So I'm kind of excited to see what that shows. Did you find that the same with The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi novelization compared to the movie?
It had a lot of extra tidbits, which every book novelization is going to have extra little tidbits here and there, but Ray Carson, the author of Rise of Skywalker, said straight up, "Hey, if everything that's in this book would make it in the film, it'd be 3 hours plus."
Yeah.
So that's a good indication that we're getting a lot more details, a lot more saturation of the stuff that everybody's been clamoring and wanting in a book. Don't get me wrong, it would be great to see it live action, but hey, one media format is better than nothing at all. So
Very true.
I'm going to take it.
So that's an option that you have, and I'm sure you're going to be all over it. How much time are you giving yourself to complete the book?
I'll probably knock it out in a week, if not sooner. Why you make that face, man? You don't think so?
I don't know.
I'll do it. Plus, because in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, we're going to get more about Exegol. We're going to get more about, Sith Eternal. We're going to get more about Palps. Like, that stuff that I'm desperately craving and wanting. So, yeah, this book is going to get taken down in a week. Probably less, but I'm saying as a cushion, a week.
So, and this just came to my mind. So every time you've read the novelization, has it made you want to go back and like rewatch the movie again and be like, okay,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that would have been cool. That would have been awesome right there. Or that, oh man, I see it now. Like I get that. Oh, they didn't put that in the book, but they put that in the movie, and like things like that.
Yeah, and there's more exposition in the book versus the novel, or the live action, obviously, but I never see it as a bad thing. The movie is what is considered 100% canon, and that's what you go with, what you visually see, not what you read, which it's kind of a shame. But if something that gets rewritten in live action, it trumps the novelization, 100%. But with them having the novelization afterwards, it gives them more room to play and add things after the fact. So we'll see.
Okay. All right.
Are you gonna read it? Are you gonna listen to it? I doubt it.
I don't know.
I gotta ask. What if I go on strike and don't tell you anything about it?
Okay.
You're still not gonna get down and like wanna read about Rey's double-bladed lightsaber, how she made it, all the stuff that was going through her head when she
didn't make it. It was a
It was you having a stroke over there?
It was like a foreshadowing, not a foreshadowing. It was a mind trick. I don't know what I'm trying to say, like imagination or something.
So the lightsaber she had at the very end in your mind wasn't real?
The lightsaber she had at the very, you said double-bladed lightsaber.
Yeah, it's a double-bladed saber, John. They only ignited one part of it.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. What do you want to bet? What do you want to bet?
You know that from, I'm not betting you nothing.
Damn.
Because you read the visual dictionary.
That doesn't mean it's in there, John. Maybe I didn't get to that chapter yet.
Whatever.
Anyways, continue.
Whatever.
Continue.
So, and granted, guys, we're picking up like the high level things. There's a ton of comics and everything else that is coming out in 2020.
The new Bounty Hunter series, that should be pretty cool.
All that stuff is coming out. So don't think that like it's not important to us. We're just like, comics are there, and there's a lot of series that are coming out. You have the Bounty Hunter, the Dr. Aphra series is continuing.
You have
there's just
the new Star Wars reboot happening, where they're doing between a New Hope and Empire. Is that right? Yeah. By Charles Soule, correct?
Yes, I don't have the exact authors' names, but yes.
And then you have the continuation of the Kylo series, The Rise of Kylo. Yep. Is that right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then you've got Thrawn Ascendancy, and there's that other one by what's her name? Oh my God, the one that did Queen Shadow.
He's jumping ahead now, guys.
Sorry, I'm gonna hang back then.
So jumping right into the month of May for 2020, May 5th, we get May the 4th. Yeah, so Revenge of the 5th. We haven't forgotten about the 4th, guys, but Revenge of the 5th, we get the Thrawn Ascendancy Chaos Rising that will come out. And then Queen's Peril, which will be a prequel to Queen's Shadow by E.K. Johnston.
Yes.
And then we'll get right further into May, but I don't want to forget about May the 4th. But May the 4th, as far as we know right now, we're getting a lot of launching of the Mandalorian characters, Funko Pops, toys, Baby
Baby Yoda, yeah, the
Yoda.
child thing is going
It's
crazy.
all going crazy. And I don't know if you sent it to me or I heard it on the radio, which I hardly ever listen to the radio, so I don't know why I would have heard it there. But something about the fact that, oh no, I heard it on Snapchat actually. Those stories that they have on your stories or whatever. About the fact that like Disney probably could have lost like a ton of money, probably close to about 2.4 or 2.7 million dollars this holiday season by not allowing the child toys to be released for the Christmas holiday. But we've talked about this where Jon Favreau was like very insistent with Lucasfilm and Disney saying, you guys have to wait until the series finish. Like, you have to give us time because I want this to be revealed in the right way. I don't want it to be something that's like I don't want it to be something that's revealed in before and then people are expecting it. I want this to be a big reveal. And so
So
they were talking about this.
do you know where that originated from? That conversation or that thought process?
No, but I'm sure you're going to tell me.
Okay, so apparently on the set of The Lion King, Fav was talking to none other than Childish Gambino, Donald Glover, and Donald Glover was having a combo with him and saying, hey, you know what? The way you get the biggest traction is not announcing things. Just dropping it, making a splash. You know, you see that with Eminem when he dropped Kamikaze. No one knew it was coming. It was just like, holy shit, it's on iTunes. What the hell is this? Okay, let's go for it. You know, Beyonce does the same thing with some of her albums. That right there causes more of a buzz, and you don't have to pay for the marketing. You don't have to pay for any of that to get that conversation spinning. You're literally just dropping it and seeing what happens. And the internet embraced the child and freaking ran with it. And for me, that was the biggest, most exciting thing about The Mandalorian Episode 1. That thing that we had nothing about, knew nothing about.
What happened?
You hung up on me.
How did I hang up on you?
I don't know. Were you playing with your phone?
No, I was going back to the picture. It wasn't even on the screen to hang up on you.
I don't know. Either way, let's just keep rolling. The fact that the Mandalorian, we didn't know the child, we didn't know a member of Yoda's species was going to be in there, that blew my mind. I was so jazzed up, so excited, and it was a true surprise. And I hate to say it, with Rise of Skywalker, you had a lot of leaks, despite JJ being JJ. And you know what? He's not as crazy and mystery boxy as everybody says he is. Don't get me wrong, he has that ability to him. But, you know, I knew there was a scene where Palps was sitting on the throne shooting lightning in the sky. What happens in the movie? Spoiler. But he shoots lightning in the sky and, you know, starts deactivating ships, doing some little EMP jazz and whatnot. That was straight out of the rumors that I had heard. And how did people know about that? Somehow, somewhere it leaked. But no one knew about the child. And that made it crazy exciting. And I'm so glad we got to find out that way than a random reveal from like Hasbro, Kenner, or somebody saying like, oh, there's a small little Yoda toy being made. I saw it in Taiwan. It's a little tiny Yoda. It's not regular Yoda. It's smaller than Yoda. Is this a Yoda baby? That would have crushed it for me. And that made me as excited about the reveal.
So do you think that Disney and Lucasfilms are going to use this method in the future?
For one, I don't even know how it was possible that they were able to keep it under wraps.
With as many people that are involved with it, I know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, all the actors that were a part of that film, you know, the 501st guys, Did they see it on set at one point? You know, when they got called by Filoni for those scenes that they were required in? You know, all the other actors, did they just mucho hush hush and didn't say a damn thing? Why can't we have that level of secrecy with everything? Not just Star Wars, just everything in general. That's the way it should be. Going into a movie, have no idea what the hell's going to happen, and just go along for the ride. Those days are over due to the internet. I don't know
Oh
how
yeah.
they did it with the Mandalorian, keeping that under wraps, but it was fantastic. I loved it, and I want more of it. Thank you, Fav, Filoni, and everybody else. Donald Glover, Childish Gambino for having that convo with him, and Fav for being able to go ahead and tell Bob Iger, Kathleen Kennedy, hey, hold up, don't make the toys. Let's
Hold
not.
up.
Let's
Wait
not.
a minute.
Yes. Like how did that conversation go? That's what I
They
wonder.
they said he was insistent. Like he was insistent to them, saying, and yeah, obviously going into it, he knows he's going to lose a ton. Like they're going to lose a ton of money. They know that.
But if they're not losing money, because how much did they not have to market it? We turned into advertisement for them by like sending gifts and pictures of the freaking child like crazy. We did marketing for them. You right there wearing that shirt that says the Clone Wars, Star Wars, that's free marketing. That's what we did with the child, yeah. Without shirts, but we talked about it. We made it spread like wildfire. Random, and I'm going to say this, majority of them were females. Don't like Star Wars, but they're all in love with Baby Yoda.
Yep.
So they captured an audience that they've never captured before. And now you have women, probably some, men that never like Star Wars, but they're captivated by the kid or by the Mandalorian's armor. And now they're all in. And they're waiting eagerly for that merch to come out. And they're going to eat it up. And this gives Disney plenty of time to manufacture that many more toys because of pre-orders, all that good stuff. So they're going to make their money back tenfold. It's just not going to be on the 2019 revenue sheets. It'll be on the 2020. They're making their cabbage, though.
They'll make up for everybody who canceled Disney Plus after The Mandalorian.
And they're going to get it right back once Clone Wars comes back.
Yeah, this is the way.
I have spoken.
So the next thing, May the 5th, May the 4th, whatever you want to come out of it. That's a very busy month for publishing when it comes. The next month, which is June 23rd, we get another book that is a follow-up to Alphabet Squadron, which is, I think, Shadow Squad?
Shadows Fall, I think.
Let me double check it.
I think Shadows Fall.
You are correct. It is Shadow Fall.
Whoa.
So a follow-up to Alphabet Squadron by Alexander Freed. We get Shadow Fall, which is a second book in the Accordingly trilogy, as people have mentioned.
I wasn't that jazzed for that one, man. Like I was excited when the book was coming out, read it, listened to it, what have you, and I was like, I don't know. I still need to listen to it or read it again before Shadowfall comes out.
Was it just how Alexander Freed wrote the book, or is it just how it was just a story in general?
I don't know. I wasn't able to put my finger on what it was that didn't get me enthralled with the content. Don't get me wrong, there was some fascinating parts. I was glued to the Death Trooper parts, but other than that, I wasn't hooked. I didn't care enough about the characters. The twist ending, if you will, or the twist reveal, I saw coming. So I don't know. I got to listen to it again. Maybe it's the Last Jedi of books for me. I don't know. Maybe the more I read it, the better it gets. I don't know, but I got to give it a shot. I owe it to Freed. I
didn't read it, so I take Dave's opinion on that stuff from there. So, all right, and then we jump into August. What happens in August, Dave?
I don't know, John. I feel like I should know, but I don't know, and you're gonna get mad at me. So go ahead and go. Is it Celebration? Yeah, Celebration. We already got tickets for it. We got them.
Yeah, very, very tail end of August. We will be at Star Wars Celebration in Anaheim, 2020. 5 years after our celebration started for Dave and I attending Star Wars Celebration Anaheim in 2015. This time we'll be taking Sweet Nelson with us, so it'll be our 4th celebration, Nelson's 3rd. We're excited. Hotel is booked. We're staying a couple of extra days and visiting Disneyland's Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, we are.
And so this will hopefully be our 2nd time we go to Galaxy's Edge. We're trying to get a trip probably in the May timeframe, if it's not too crazy busy. But yeah, Star Wars Celebration takes place. A lot of unknowns. Dave didn't even know we had tickets, so there you go. We don't know much about Star Wars Celebration as of right now. We haven't heard anything else. Obviously, Light Ticket Exchange will be out there again to help people sell their tickets or exchange their tickets if they're not able to go after they bought them. So, it's a very small fear of mine that when we buy tickets that far in advance, that something's going to come up that we're not going to be able to go. But it's also one of those things that as soon as I know we have tickets, I put it on my calendar.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I block out, and I tell my boss, I'm like, hey, Celebration August, just so you know, it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
It's there. I'm very forthcoming about the information when I share it with him and say, hey, I'm sorry. It's already on my calendar. It's already there. Granted, they also don't do it during a lot of busy times for us, in my opinion. Since we both work in retail, so it kind of helps. But yeah, I don't know. I just heard so many stories on social media or even on the Light ticket sales that they're like, oh yeah, we couldn't go, now we're having a baby. And I'm like, wow, okay. Well, it's not, you gotta save money for the baby, I guess.
Take the baby.
Yeah, it's don't you plan that?
John.
But if you think about it, we bought the tickets a year and a half out, so having a baby during that time frame is very plausible. But anyway, I get work commitments, all that other stuff, but I don't know. It's just one of those things that I prepare for.
There's Star Wars commitments. And you know what? This time around, Chicago. We're not going to Chicago. We're going to Anaheim. Sorry. We're not going to have to deal with the Chicago snow, the inclement weather. It's going to be cool because it's going to be August and red lightsaber and in California. So that's exciting. Not going to be too crazy cold, but it should be a blast. And those Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is going to be packed with fans going from the convention over there. And I guarantee there's going to be some people that are going to go to the convention a day, 2 days, and then the rest of the time they're going to be in Galaxy's Edge.
And most of the people that I saw about the comments was that they were going to take that Monday and Tuesday to go to Galaxy's Edge. They weren't saying after the fact, because most people can get a vacation from Monday through Sunday. We had the ability where we're not leaving until Wednesday. Celebration starts on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then we're staying Monday, Tuesday, and flying back Wednesday. So Monday, Tuesday, the week after is our time.
And we're going the day before?
Wednesday's the day before. They're not doing a Wednesday preview like they did last time.
No, but aren't we physically landing in California Wednesday?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Might go to Galaxy's Edge that day. I don't know. Feeling crazy. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'll just break away and just...
Dave doesn't coordinate things. I do, and I haven't even picked our flights yet, but it'll probably be an early flight, so we probably could.
Yeah, let's not talk about your escape room plan.
Oh, God, that was horrible.
Exactly. Let's not talk about
Anyway, we have that, and then August, September, sure we're going to get a lot of announcements at Star Wars Celebration. Then we get into September, we get into October, and October is roughly the time they say that The Mandalorian is supposed to be coming back to Disney Plus for season 2. We know it's greenlit. We know they've already started filming. Some of it may be in post-production, all that other good stuff. They just say fall of 2020, so I'm saying October timeframe-ish. November-ish is when they may actually launch like they did this time, but we don't know how many episodes or anything like that. But The Mandalorian is coming back in October, which will most likely round out the year for Star Wars on the big franchise things. There are 2 other things that I want to talk about, but I'll let you give your thoughts on The Mandalorian, Dave.
No, I'm just excited. We saw a Gamorrean that John Favreau posted up on his Instagram, I believe it was, and he's not wearing all the armor. He doesn't look maybe as chubby as all the other Gamorreans that we've seen before. So is this just concept art of the frame, what it looks like, or is it going to be a Gamorrean walking around just in his undies? I don't know. I'm excited to see it. Some people were thinking oh man, is it going to be like Gladiator Pit kind of style, Thor Ragnarok, like Thor fighting Hulk kind of thing? I don't know, but I'm glad that the Gamorreans are coming back. Big fan of those little pig guys. It's like if Kermit and Miss Piggy got together, they make Gamorreans. That's
That's
how
what they mean.
Gamorreans are made. Let's not talk about it.
Okay. The other thing that we know is happening, they say the summer of 2020. Don't have complete confirmation. My phone's on the bed. I'm not even touching it.
Neither was I. Go ahead.
That's weird. So we don't know for sure. We know it's happening sometime, I guess, in the summer. Is we got the Cassian Andor series and the Obi-Wan series that are starting to film around the summertime of 2020. That's what we're being told at this time. None of that's confirmed. But I don't know. So we're looking probably at a 2021 release date for both of those. My personal opinion, I don't think that they're going to release at the same time. I think it's going to be one releases and the other one releases. I could be completely wrong because 2021 we're not getting anything. There's even rumors that we're not getting a Star Wars Celebration, or we probably won't get one. We're not getting a movie. So I can understand how they're going to need to fill 2021 with a lot of stuff to be able to keep the fans hyped and ready to go. I'm sure there'll be a Mandalorian season 3 in there as well. But out of the two series, Dave, Obi-Wan, Cassian Andor, which one are you most excited about?
Given a lot of thought, I'm gonna go Obi-Wan. I'm gonna go Obi-Wan for the fact that he's gone through a lot in his life. He lost Duchess Satine, the love that he had with her. He contemplated leaving the Order for her. He contemplated just settling down, putting up the lightsaber, living on Mandalore with her, and Maul took that away from him. The anger, the pain he felt, I cannot even imagine that if you're thinking about it just from a character development standpoint. And then he lives in seclusion. What's going on in his head after he knows that the guy that he treated like a brother, somebody that he grew up with essentially, turned into a monster that he almost killed, that he saw frying on, the lava banks of Mustafar. Yeah, he's talking to Obi, maybe he's talking to Qui-Gon also in this time frame, but what an emotional wreck Obi-Wan must be. And I really hope they tap into that, because we never see it in the films. We get a hint of it in Clone Wars, but we never see it. And hopefully this lets Ewan McGregor stretch out and expand on the Obi-Wan character that we know and love to new depths. That's what I'm hoping for.
So I was going to say Obi-Wan Kenobi series, and I was only going to say it because Deborah Chow was directing it.
That too. I love the Chow.
Like
I love
what
Deborah
she
Chow.
did
No,
in The Mandalorian.
exactly.
Like I am excited, but I do agree with what you said. Exactly what you said. Like he's in a different part of his life. He's been through hurt. He's been through pain. Like we need to see that. I think Cassian Andor is just funny, especially for you because like Yaba and you love Diego Luna.
I love Luna. He's a
all that
beast.
stuff. But Obi-Wan Kenobi series, like, I think I'm more excited about what is Deborah Chow going to bring to this story and what else can she do. Like the episodes she did in The Mandalorian, like hands down, were pretty awesome.
No,
Were
for
pretty
sure.
awesome.
But was that her directing it, or was it the content of the episode? What was it? Her execution of the content, or was it the content itself that made us go crazy and love that episode?
I think that the content is very important, and you know this. The content is very, very important, but how you execute on that content is everything. So yeah, the content could be great, but I honestly think it was her execution of how she delivered that content to the viewer.
So
Because you could have, I think you could have great content but poor execution, and it still would be bad, in my opinion.
So what if that episode was directed by Filoni instead? And let's say we loved it. Would we say Filoni's up here on the highest pedestal or Bryce Dallas Howard?
No, because I kind of thought Bryce Dallas Howard's episode was I think Filoni, we give him respect because of what we've seen him do with Rebels, with Clone Wars, Resistance again, and I was listening to another. I think it's the Kessel Run Transmissions. I was listening to their video about the next thing we're going to talk about, and they were both like, "Yeah, Star Wars Resistance didn't do it for me. I'm so glad they're ending it after second season." And I was like, "Man, I wonder how many other people are saying that." But I think Filoni's a little bit different. Fav's a little bit different. Like, it's just for her being. I think the content was good, like I said, but for her being the first director of something in Star Wars or like for live action, she did a really good job by the execution of what she was getting. Yes, thank you.
No, I get you. I'm just wondering how much of it was the content versus her execution. I
This is
don't
a
know.
valid point.
Because a lot of the content it dictates the general direction of how you're going to shoot something. Yeah, don't get me wrong. You might do, a crazy inquisitive angle. You might do, this foreshadowing, this blah, 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 and a whole bunch of other technical, theatrical terms and directorial styles that I'm unaware of. But regardless, she did a hell of a job on those episodes. I'm not questioning her ability by any means. I'm not. I'm excited for Obi-Wan. I just really hope they open the door and explore the depths of Kenobi. That you make the fans that love him already take a whole new liking to the character, because we've only seen one real side of him that we know. You see a little bit of another side with the Clone Wars, but that's never portrayed in live action. I want to see what platitudes Ewan McGregor can hit. I'd honestly love it if this entire series he never lights or ignites his lightsaber. I would love to see an entire series of him trying to hide. Wrong one there. Trying to hide and never light up the lightsaber. And just kind of trying to stay low-key, live in the shadows, and do mind tricks, maybe physical combat instead of using the lightsaber. Because that would be so much more poignant for him to have only used it when he fought Maul on Tatooine.
This is the way.
You're just agreeing and saying, okay, whatever. That's all you're doing, John. You're not even.
It wouldn't bother. It wouldn't bother me anyway. But I also think it's part of the reflection. I get where you're coming from. Like, it's a reflection stage of everything he's been through in his life, what has happened, and being able to actually sit down and reflect.
That and a lightsaber draws attention.
Yep.
I would think he does not want to draw attention, so he doesn't want to light up a lightsaber in a crowded bar. Like he did over there on Tatooine when he was a Luke. I think he only did that because he had no other option. It was instinct that kicked in and made him light up and protect the boy.
Yeah, because even with the stormtroopers, he just mind tricked them.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Cassian Andor, I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be exciting. I think they have, somebody from the writing team that worked on Rogue One is working on the Cassian Andor series.
You are correct.
That's automatically going to give it some cred when it comes to the dirty and gritty aspect that Rogue One had, and I like that. I think you're going to see Cassian Andor being a lot more of a spy, intrigue, desperation, really doing the things that you need to get done that we don't like to talk about. The dirty deeds that have somebody winning a medal, but you know what? You're like, that cop's dirty. But hey, he saved the day. I'm not saying he's going to be Alonzo from Training Day, but
oh God,
can you imagine that him with a blaster be like, hey, you want to go home or you want to go to jail?
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Great movie though.
I love the movie. But I think Diego Luna's a hell of an actor. In Narcos, he's amazing. In the movie The Terminal, which is one of the first movies I ever saw with him and Tom Hanks, amazing. Just really excited to see what the guy does. And I hope he gets his dream of seeing and touching Yaba on, firsthand. And immortalizing his lifelong dream of Yaba.
So, if he goes to Star Wars Celebration, are you getting a photo with him?
Oh, heck yeah. I'm like, Luna, what up?
I brought a baby Yaba.
I'll bring him a Yaba. I don't care. I'll dress like Yaba. I'll do it. No?
I'm not walking around with you if you're going to look like Yaba.
Come on. I'll be a Yaba.
We've talked about Fat Dave, but I don't know about like Fat Dave Yaba.
I'll get a costume. It won't be like real me. And you can be my Salacious Crumb, which will be funny because
Okay.
we're on odd ends. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And is Nelson your slave Leia or what?
Boom! I'm sending him a text right now when we're done here. Start working on our
Um,
costumes.
the final thing that is a huge rumor, in my opinion, nothing confirmed on this
But
whatsoever.
everybody's running with it.
Everybody's running with it. I first heard it from Kessel Run Transmissions, which I was just talking about earlier. There is apparently a Rebels spinoff series that's coming in 2020. We don't know when. We don't know what. We don't know how. We don't know why or anything like that. But this is what everybody's running with. Apparently, it's going to follow Ahsoka and Sabine as they go on their journey to look for Ezra. Obviously, Ahsoka's coming back in season 7 of the Clone Wars, which will come on February 17th, which we mentioned. And so, getting Rebels, getting this as a show and being able to see it could possibly happen. It'd fill that void between Clone Wars and The Mandalorian. But I don't know. Like, when you sent this to me, I was like, no, there's no way. No way. But, people are like, it's not just one. We talk about we got this covered people who report on literally the smallest amount of nothing that they hear.
Well, that, and
But
you also got, StarWarsNews.net, which has been pretty reputable in the past.
yes, they have been.
Which, those guys over there at the Resistance podcast, I love listening to them. So they're hardly wrong. Don't get me wrong. There's times where they're off base, but hey, everybody is. If this is true, I feel this is Filoni getting back to what he loves, characters that he loves, which he's already done, in Clone Wars. Now, will we see the end of Ahsoka's journey? Will we see how she becomes that voice that we hear in Rise of Skywalker?
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. Are we going to see the end of Ahsoka at that?
She should have fallen in that episode of Rebels where she's facing Vader. And I'm so pissed that, there's a time lapse whole thing, world between worlds. That hurt me, Filoni. It hurt me. And I know Lucas is just as crazy and wild with midichlorians and all that jazz, but I don't know. That still bothers me.
It does. He brings it up. He brings it up frequently, even when we're not on the air, guys.
Like, if I met Filoni, I'm like, why? Like, what?
You say you have drinks with him every week.
That's not what we want to talk about, though. I'm trying to get the good nuggets out of him. I don't want to go down that road and burn that bridge, John. I don't want to burn that bridge. I want to wear the hat, though.
I don't think he'd let you wear that.
No, probably not.
I'd be stoked for this. I'd be excited for this. I loved Rebels. I liked Clone Wars, but Rebels I thought was really cool. And then after I read the first Thrawn book, which I do need to read the other two. I know, blah, 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 whatever. It made Rebels so much better for me. And so I really enjoyed Rebels. So this would be awesome. Like I said, people are running with it. And it's not just one outlet. It's several outlets. But we've got no confirmation. From what everybody's saying is that it's supposed to come out to Disney Plus this year. I can't see Lucasfilm and Disney holding on to that for that long and keeping it that much of a secret.
The child. That's all I'm going to say. The child. How big of a secret was that?
Anything is possible in today's
animated
age.
Features take years to get to the final cutting room floor.
Sure.
Ewan McGregor knew about coming back in a series or a movie for 4 freaking years, and he lied to everybody's face.
Yeah.
Nothing is impossible. It's just very hard to keep things nice and tight and out of the earshot of media. If this happens, how excited are you going to be?
I'd be stoked. Stoked. I loved Rebels. Loved Rebels. I was sad when they announced that it wasn't coming back.
Because you saw Rebels before Clone Wars, technically, right?
Yes.
And I remember, the first couple episodes, you're like, Dave, I don't know, this is like Aladdin in space. With Ezra on the rooftop, stealing Yogan fruit or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, and then, and then we got into it, and then I said the same thing about Resistance. I was like, no, Dave, I don't know if I can do this. I said it before Dave did. I was like, Resistance isn't something I can do, and then he came back and said, yeah, it's going to be difficult. We got through season 1, and we have yet to see anything on season 2. But I'm going to be super excited. I don't care if that's the storyline they chose or if there's just more Rebels in those characters. I am down 100%. 100%.
I'm excited, but not for the Ahsoka part, not for the Sabine part. I want to know what happened to Ezra Bridger. I want to know what's happening with Thrawn. I want to know where those guys are at. That's what I want to know. That's what I'm excited for. And hopefully that series would intermingle both sides of that coin. That's what I want. I need me some more Thrawn.
So Dave just wants to see Thrawn on the big screen.
Oh, that'd be amazing. I don't think we'll ever get Thrawn on the big screen, but I'd dig it.
Okay. Anything else you want to talk about for 2020?
I think the biggest thing that we need to get out of 2020, outside of more like Palpatine stuff and how did he get on Exegol and all that other jazz, which we've talked about in our previous episode, is who the hell was it that knelt down next to, what's her name, in the Gunslinger episode of Mandalorian, episode 5? Was that was that the Mandalorian? Was that another character? What? Because they put that little 3, 4, 5 second scene in there for a reason. It hasn't bared fruit as of yet in season 1, so that means maybe season 2 she's coming back. I don't know. Maybe it was a stun round and it wasn't an actual blaster bolt.
That's what I've been saying.
I'm giving you some cred. We don't know. Is it the Mandalorian? Is it someone else? Is it Boba? The Gunslinger guy's dead. They dropped him off in Baker's Canyon. It's not him, John.
Okay, he is dead. I'll give you that.
But either way, I'm excited. I want to know. And I think we're going to hear stuff very soon on that series, that animated series. Probably once Resistance ends, we'll get what's going down next. Because there's got to be a panel for it at Celebration. There's going to be an Obi-Wan panel. There's going to be a Cassian panel. There's going to be a Mando panel. And I think it's, the 40th anniversary of Empire? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So there's going to be that panel. What else are we going to get? I don't know, but I want young Lando to show up at Star Wars Celebration. And Moff Gideon. I want to meet Moff Gideon.
Oh, Moff Gideon.
I want to meet Moff Gideon. I got to get a pic with Cara Dune. I got to get a pic with her.
Gina Carano.
She's a beast. Not
Pedro
only
Pascal.
Oh, of course. If I can get a combo shot with Pedro Pascal and Gina Carano, I'm down. I'm down.
I'd probably have to get Carl Weathers too, just because of Rocky.
Oh, I love Carl Weathers. He's all, come on, baby, do that magic hand thing. Love it.
Nick Nolte, the Ugnaught.
You need to get a pic with Nick Nolte because you were all over Nick Nolte.
No, but
I don't think he would go to the convention, though.
I don't think he would either. He's killed.
Anyway, I think that's all I got on my side, but
that's funny. Guys, let us know what you're looking forward to the most in 2020 or 2020. I messed that up. 2020. We'd love to hear from you guys. You can hit us up on our social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at SWPodBalance. We post our episodes twice a week, usually, depending how busy we are. We love the comments that we've been getting and the love from the fans and the opinions. Keep them coming. We really appreciate them. If you're in the market for a new lightsaber, head on over to our friends at ultrasabers.com. You can pick up any lightsaber on their website except for clearance, and you can go to the checkout section and you can enter coupon code ForceFeels, all one word, all caps. It'll give you 10% off balance from Balance of the Force, a Star Wars podcast. Does not work on accessories either. We thank you for tuning in today, and we are Balance of the Force, a Star Wars podcast. And as always, may the Force be with you.
The Sith will rule the galaxy. Yeah, we shall